What is going on, guys? This is Jake at That Fit Friend, and today we're talking about barefoot shoes for lifting. So in all of my barefoot shoe reviews and content, I am constantly getting asked, is this shoe good for barbell training? Is this shoe good for recreational lifting, CrossFit, cross training, you name it? So I wanted to put together a video with 5 of my favorite barefoot shoes that I regularly rotate through for my lifting and cross training and discuss why I like each. So give basically a quick synopsis of each model, the pros, cons that come along with each, and then hopefully that can help you select a model that best fits your needs. But now let's dive into my top pick. So my top pick for recreational lifting, just general strength training and powerlifting, is the Vivo Barefoot Primus Lite 3. So 3 reasons why I like this model in this context of training is number 1, I like the active sole construction that Vivo Barefoot uses in the shoe. Basically, the active sole is like Vivo Barefoot's proprietary sole. It comes in at a thickness of 4 millimeters, and in this model you can remove the insole, and it has a finished internal construction, so you can take out that insole, get even closer to the ground, and you're not going to ruin the internal part of the shoes. The second reason why I like this model for this context is the toe box is decently wide and the tread patterning grips the floor really well. So whether you're training on wooden platforms or rubber gym floors, the shoe should provide you with enough grip, and there's enough width in the toe box to really splay those toes. The third reason is that the shoe looks pretty good for casual wear. So you can rock the shoe outside of the gym and they look pretty good with shorts, pants, etc. So now 2 things to think about with this model is that number 1, the price point is a little bit higher. So coming in between like $140 and $155 depending on the colorway and retail outlet you go with. That is a little bit pricey for this pair of shoes. So definitely take care of them if you do invest in them, and try to limit their wear for just strength training if you really want them to go the distance. The second thing to think about with this model is that the lace construction could be better. So you might want to invest in a new pair of laces if you get this model, or just really tighten these up and double lace them. I'm constantly double lacing these when I train just so they don't come undone. But the Primus Lite 3 is an awesome option for barbell training, powerlifting, and just general recreational lifting. So my top pick for anybody who wants a barefoot shoe for a little bit of lifting and a little bit of casual CrossFit includes the Innovate Bare XF 210 V3. So 3 reasons why I like this model for this style of training is number 1, you get a 3 millimeter thick power footbed. Now this model does not have a removable insole. However, the sole of this model is wicked thin. Like there is not much going on with the sole of the shoe. So I don't think you're gonna have to worry about taking out the insole if you want to get even closer to the ground with this model. The second reason is that this model does have some upper features to prolong its durability in the context of CrossFit. So we have some rope tech here on the midfoot to prolong its life if you're rope climbing. And then we also have some beefed up construction up here in the toe if you're dragging the toe, doing burpees, etc. The third reason why I like this model is similar to the Primus Lite 3. I think this is a pretty aesthetic shoe. They have some really good colorways in this model, and you can easily rock this to the gym, to a CrossFit workout, to go lift in, and then on a daily wear basis, and they look pretty dang clean and they breathe really well. Now, one thing to think about with this model is that the toe box is not the widest compared to some of the other barefoot shoes up here. On Innovate's fit scale, the shoe has a size 4 fit. So it goes 1 being the most narrow, 5 being the widest. Why they didn't just make it the widest is beyond me, but the shoe does a decent job, I think, for folks with narrow and neutral feet. If you have a slightly wider foot and you want maximal toe splay and maximal width, then this might not be the best option for you. All right, so next, my top pick for anybody who trains outdoors, does cross training, some casual CrossFit, and then also wants a shoe for lifting is the Zero Shoes 360. So 3 reasons why this shoe excels in this context include number 1, I really like this shoe's sole tread and its patterning. I think if you're doing any multi-directional work, especially outdoors, this shoe is going to be one of your best bets out of all the shoes up here for matching the tasks and demands that you're placing on the sole of your shoe. The second reason, and this is similar to most Zero shoes, is that you can take out the insole in this model and get even closer to the ground. And this is great for anybody who's training outdoors or using this shoe for cross training, because you get a little bit of variance there in regard to how much cushion you get with the shoe. Now, cushion being relatively speaking very minimal, but you do get a little bit of a buffer with this model, with this internal finished construction of the inside of the shoe, and then also with this insole. So you do have a little bit of variety there. The third reason is that of all the Zero shoes, I like this model the most for its upper construction in regard to how durable it is for CrossFit and cross training. We have a 3D rib structure up here. We have a reinforced toe box for additional durability for burpees and rope climbs. So you're not gonna have to necessarily worry about the upper in this model breaking down too soon if you do wanna use this shoe for cross training and CrossFit. Now, one drawback to this model is that it's not the most aesthetic. Some of the colorways I do like, but some of the shoes, they look a little bit clunky. They have a slightly thicker toe, so they're not always the most accommodating for daily wear and casual wear. But if you're just wearing these for cross training, outdoor sessions, and lifting, then I don't necessarily think that's gonna be a big issue. All right, my next top pick is for anybody who is just getting into barefoot shoes, doesn't want to drop a ton of money, and they just want a barefoot shoe for like some casual wear, some lifting, and just a little bit of everything. And that's going to be the Zero Shoes Prio. So this is our second Zero Shoes model making our list. The Prio is kind of like a tried and true, very basic barefoot shoe. They come in at a price of $90 USD, and that is the first reason why I recommend this shoe for this context and for this individual. The second reason why this shoe is pretty phenomenal is similar to, once again, the Primus 3 and the Zero Shoes 360. This model does have that removable insole with that finished internal construction, so you can get pretty close to the ground in this model, and you have a little bit of variety there. So if you are a beginner getting into barefoot shoes, you can use this insole, and it gives you a little bit more cushion to acclimate to this style of footwear. The third reason is that as a whole, the shoe does a pretty good job for lifting, for some casual running, for daily wear, so you can wear them in a variety of contexts and they will perform pretty well. Now, the drawback with this model is I think it's the appearance. The shoe does look a little bit dated at times. It feels a little bit clunky and heavy, and the toe box is pretty thick. So it's not gonna be, I don't think, the best looking shoe for just casual and daily wear, but they certainly work in that context. It's just a matter of your preferences in regard to your shoe's aesthetic. But for $90 USD, this is a pretty good, beginner friendly, like really good quality barefoot shoe. My final pick, and this is for anybody who wants to save the absolute most amount of money, that is the Witten Minimalist Trail Runner. It has a couple different names on Amazon based on the colorway you go with, but basically this model comes in at a price between like $30 and $40 USD. So if you are trying to save literally the most amount of money possible and just get a barefoot shoe for some casual lifting, maybe some daily wear, this is a good model to look into. So 3 reasons why this model is a pretty decent option, honestly, for the price is: number one, you get this full rubber outsole, so you can wear these outdoors and to the gym, and they're gonna grip a lot of different surfaces pretty dang well. Like, is the outsole gonna last you the longest? We'll see, but for $40 USD, I think the outsole as a whole does a pretty good job. The second reason is that as a whole, they're pretty dang comfortable. So if you wanna wear them for longer sessions or just going to running errands or wearing them out and about, like walking the dogs and then to the gym, this model is overall pretty comfortable. The upper has a lot of give to it, has a little bit of stretch to it, and as a whole, the midfoot does lock down the foot pretty well. And then the third reason is obviously the price. $40 USD for a shoe, that's pretty phenomenal, especially for anybody who's like kind of on the low commitment side of barefoot shoes and you're not sure if you want to invest in like a Vivo barefoot shoe that's $150. So you're like, should I just acclimate and see if I like barefoot shoes? I think this is a good model to look into. It's gonna be of lower quality than the Prio, but if you're really trying to save money, this is a good option. Now, a drawback with this model is that when you get it, it comes in like a plastic bag from Amazon. It smells like hardcore rubber, and you're gonna have to wear them for a couple of weeks before you don't stink. My girlfriend made fun of me when I first put these on and rocked them because she's like, dude, you smell like literally a rubber warehouse. So that is one drawback to this shoe. And I guess the second drawback, and what would be like a half of a drawback, is that it's not the most aesthetic shoe. It has like this weird bumpy toe texture up here. So if you're trying to rock these on a daily basis, you might not look that great in them. They work well, but you might not have like that nice clean aesthetic like a Vivo Barefoot Primus 3 would give. But again, for the price, you're getting what you get with this model. So overall, guys, these are 5 of my favorite barefoot shoes for lifting, and all for slightly different reasons. Each of these models has their list of pros and cons based on the context in which you plan to use them. And if you have any additional questions on these shoes, hit me in the comments below or reach out to me personally, whichever you prefer. And as always, guys, there are obviously other barefoot shoe options out there that work really well for lifting, but these are just 5 of my favorite that I wanted to give you and give you some options to go with. But as always, guys, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.